Big news for Stunts. Leave the theaters alone. Coogler draws Sinner's inspiration from a puss. 3tlejuice. And the script ain't done yet. All of that and so much more. But first, news dump. I would like to first start this episode by apologizing to the audience. Mac cannot be here today, so in his place is Nick Fryer.
You just had me on to in for him like a couple weeks ago. Like I'm the person you've gone to twice recently, and you're apologizing to them. I'm never doing this again. Ask me same name, never again.
I'll tell you right now, I did an amazing job last week. Had some great Avengers insight, but I will say that your hit rate sometimes is a little bit off. I want to get out ahead of it just in case you don't bring your A game.
You know what, man? Adam Dunn. If Adam Dunn was playing in today's game, he'd be a Hall of Famer. You call me the Adam Dunn of the DSG right now.
You are Adam Dunn. You can hit some home runs, but you are striking out and you can't play the field.
That's why I pitched.
News dump. Over at the Academy Awards, they are officially adding a category, Best Stunts, and I believe this is right off the back of The Fall Guy, the Ryan Gosling comedy that came out last year. The films, so it begins with the films released in 2027, so not this year, but the year after.
Okay, not even the year after. It's the year after that. It's 2 years.
What year are we in right now?
2021 is
That's
the year we're in right now.
I don't know where we are right now.
What I'm most confused about, and I feel like best stunts being the category kind of like clears things up a little bit, because I was wondering like why you're not rewarding these stuntmen when they do such important stuff. And you look at action movies in the course of like the history of film, they've just been so important as film has become such a massive moneymaker. Are you trying to take like credit away, or make sure you don't like shine the light away from the big stars and highlight the fact that they're not the ones doing these amazing stunts?
So I wasn't even thinking about that, and I'm 100% with you. This does kind of sound like they did not want to, lose the disbelief of people watching this and be like, oh, there are several people that work into this character type of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a little disappointing, but at the same time, like the way they're doing it now, they're giving the stuntmen and women their due, but they're also not like we'll see how they kind of highlight it, but it's also like best stunts. So that can be anybody who's doing
stuntmen, stunt women, stunt coordinators.
Exactly, all of it.
I'm sure that Tom Cruise will be given some kind of like a lifetime achievement award. He doesn't do all of his own stunts, but he does enough of them to, garner praise as an actor who will stick in there until the last possible second.
Yeah, it's a good call. I wouldn't be surprised they don't do a thing where they name awards after the people, but I wouldn't be surprised for him if he got it.
I also think that, so the NBA does this. I think that every sports league should go and change all of their awards. Yeah, like modernize it.
Yeah. Well, wait a minute. Are you saying, so when you say modernize, are you saying like with the Cy Young Award, like turn it into what, like the...
Who cares about Cy Young?
Wow, it's just such a thing though. Like that's like
how many of his stats are actually no one can win 520 games in Major League Baseball. That sounds completely made up, and him just being like, I won 3 games last week.
100%. I get that. And I understand the argument of like nobody cares about Cy Young. I don't give a shit about Cy Young, quite honestly, anymore. But at the same time, like that's an award where it's just like it's kind of transcended, like best pitcher award. Like you don't need that for that. Like MVP, you want to change it to like the Barry Bonds award or A-Rod award or whoever. Fine, I can get behind that. But Cy Young should probably be left alone.
NHL, you can toss out the Hart, you can toss out the Norris, call it the Gretzky, the Orr. We're not a sports show here, so please stay on track, though.
Oh, okay. I apologize.
News dump. Over at the box office this past weekend, Minecraft down about 50%, but they still made $80 million domestic as of right now worldwide through its 2 weeks, 550 on its gross. The Jesus movie starring Oscar Isaac made almost $20 million, and The Amateur, the Rami Malek movie, $15 million. Really, the big news out of this, though, is just it's the mayhem. It's the havoc that is happening at the theaters as the youth are watching Minecraft, throwing popcorn, throwing sodas, bringing in live chickens, losing their minds.
Well, okay. I mean, like they're having a fun time. Just be thankful that they're back at the theaters. I just want to know the Jesus movie. Is this the one where Apocalypse shows up? Is this his origin story?
I honestly have no idea. I just saw the title. I said, this sounds like a faith-based movie. It is. And it stars Oscar Isaac, and Mark Hamill is in it.
But he's playing Apocalypse again, right? He's in Sabanur, or am I mixing things up?
Playing Luke Skywalker.
Luke's
But
okay, got it.
with the whole mayhem, we have some disclaimers that are now popping up before some screenings of Minecraft, asking people to please tone it down. And if you can't, we're going to throw you out. Jack Black even showed up at a screening of one of these movies and asked fans not to throw popcorn all over the theater. I have a suggestion. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Take away everyone's phones. If they don't have their phones and they can't record it, no one's going to do it.
That's true. That's a very good point. If there's no phones, there's no incentive to do this.
Yeah.
I think that's
It's all for
but you're gonna
social media. It's all to post on TikTok.
yeah, but everybody you think that's gonna fly? Like if someone said to you
I
you're going
don't
into
care.
okay.
I'm here
Alright.
to give you a solution. I'm telling you what the problem is. This is a simple solution. I go to brag plenty of screeners where I have to hand my phone over at the beginning of the movie. They put it in a bag. They hand it back to me at the end.
Okay.
If
Okay.
you
That's why
want
you're
the
okay with it.
mayhem to stop, take away the children's phones.
Okay, I see. You have like a level of experience with something like this. I thought you
I
were
have
just
no
kind of saying that.
experience. I have never dealt with children before in the past. Yes, we all have phones. I can talk about that prior.
Okay. Okay. You're missing the point. I'm not going to stoop myself any further. My biggest thing is like, I feel for the theater employees, but the whole idea of like, you're going to tell people how to celebrate a thing when you've been clamoring about getting people back into theaters. And now you're going to tell them how to go about this. That never works
I
out well.
am also happy that people are back in the theaters. And when movies like this make a lot of money, you can then take that money and put it toward other movies. But I feel more for the common man, for
That's
the
fair.
theater employee that you are just poo-pooing and saying, who gives a shit about them? I'm saying they have so much work to do, and they're not getting any extra money for this. They have to go in and mop up all of this garbage after.
So here's where I am not trying to put down the
You are.
movie
We
theater
all heard
employee
you.
because my old man was a movie theater employee and
Oh, look
he
at
reaped the rewards
Fryer.
of it
My
for
best
years.
friend's a black guy. Okay.
My wow. Okay. But
Costanza,
anyways,
way to be. Okay.
my father, first of all. Second, no, if the theaters have a serious, like, if the people who are making these movies have a serious issue with this, then why don't you do something to help the people who are cleaning this up, other than just giving out this little blanket? Oh, like, please don't do this. No one's going to listen to that. How is that helping anybody? It's only going to incentivize kids to do it more because they know it's getting to you. So I think this move is idiotic.
Okay, so can we come to a compromise here?
I don't think so, but sure, we can
You
try.
pay the theater employees more money to clean up after.
Oh, I love that. Yes, that's exactly what it should be. 100%.
We did it.
Wow.
Used up. In theaters this coming week, could it dethrone Minecraft? That's what it's called. I almost called it something else, but it probably will not. Is Sinners. That is the Ryan Coogler, Michael A. and Michael B. Jordan movie that is coming out this weekend after 45 reviews on Rotty Ts right now. 100%. And while on, I'm not sure if it's a podcast, a web show, but it is at straw_hat_goofy.
Very reputable.
Coogler said that he drew inspiration for the movie from Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, saying, think about the villain Death, his defining features, the eyes, his demeanor.
Ooh, okay. Well, I gotta say, I'm gonna tell myself here, I've never seen any of the Puss in Boots movies.
What are
So
you doing? You like animation. This is
I
okay.
know.
So it's not so like there's a bunch of animated movies that have come out recently that are really playing with how different you can take animation. So yes, you have Spider-Verse. You had a bit of a Spider-Verse knockoff with TMNT last year, but Puss in Boots did an amazing job with their animation to jump from several different kinds of genres of cartooning, and it
Really?
is wonderful. Not only is it a great story, it is visually stunning.
I had no idea. Shame on me. I'm gonna have to do something about this because yeah, that's good to know. I had no idea, and I definitely want to support that kind of stuff. You're absolutely right. But regarding the success of this in terms of the reviews and stuff like that, I wasn't sure if I was going to see Sinners. I saw it and just like okay, like this. It seems like it might be interesting, but also I'm not exactly certain. The way the critics are responding to this, like I'm very much interested now. Now I feel like I have to give it a chance. Were you planning? I mean, I'm assuming you get to see it for your
Yeah,
screen,
we
or were
were
you planning?
gonna possibly do it for the end of the week, but we have Daredevil. We'll talk about that in 1 second. So probably the
Hell
start
yeah,
of next week that we will get to Sinners. It
nice.
was for a while a borderline full movie topic for the podcast. I think it definitely is now. The trailers have looked good, but you
Mhm.
really need to look at Coogler's just his run of movies over the last decade or so, where he's just put out bangers. And yes, Rotty Ts is not everything, but when
No.
you're nailing pretty much 90% up every single time, you're making good movies.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. You got to respect that 100%. And then and I agree with you, like in terms of Rotten Tomatoes in general, it's not like a definitive thing for me, but when I'm on the border of a movie or just like, could go either way, and then I see such a strong response, that has a pretty strong impact on whether or not I see that movie.
Look, don't fully go off of what Rotten Tomatoes says. Use it like Fryer said, as like maybe a push. But what
Hmm.
you want to do is you want to find movie critics or people that talk about movies on a consistent basis and go off of the recommendations that you constantly either agree with or you believe in. I'm not
Yes,
saying to do it with us. I am saying right now,
you
though, that if
should.
you are watching this podcast, if you're on YouTube right now, smash that subscribe button, give us a like. Apparently, those are very important things. So, thumbs up
Really?
right now. Also, subscribe. You need to subscribe. I can't believe that all of you have not subscribed yet.
Unreal.
News
That
dump.
day.
3tlejuice off the back of Beetlejuice. Very successful last summer via Deadline. Beetlejuice 3 is in the works.
I'm kind of surprised that Keaton is doing this again, but at the same time, it's like he's getting to whatever his payday is. It can't be bad, and he's in the movie for no more than 17 minutes at a time. So,
Yep. It felt like he was in a lot more of the movie, the Beetlejuice, but it turns out still about 20 minutes. Still not a lot
mhm.
of it. And I am a fan of like the Beetlejuice hijinks. I really liked the Beetlejuice animated show that was like the misadventures of Beetlejuice and Lydia. I was not a fan of the movie that came out last year. I thought it was fine. I thought it met the bare minimum of what I would watch with a Beetlejuice movie, but there was just something off about Keaton. His
Mm,
Beetlejuice, and look, he's 30 years older than when the original one came out. You can't fault. Wait, no, 40, almost 40. Jesus Christ,
wow.
almost 40.
Yeah,
So the juice, he says the juice is loose. I thought the juice was not quite loose.
I think the juice is loose, just not in the way that he used to mean it. But my big thing is, I think this one, the third one, is gonna be received better than the second one because
How
the
dare you? What a
expectations.
ridiculous statement. How? Why? You have no proof
Why?
of this.
It's gonna because the expectations were so high for number 2 because it was like it's been so long, everybody wanted it, everybody couldn't wait to see it. Obviously, monetarily wise, it did well. It may not do better monetarily, but now the expectations have been lowered. So now we're gonna see this number 3 and be like, "Oh, it's as good as the other one," so people will probably like that more. It's all about expectations, Goof.
They also took a bit of sandpaper to Beetlejuice's personality in this one, kind of shaved off some of the stuff that,
Mm,
might not fly in these days. That's
the
what Beetlejuice
times they
was
are
in
changing.
80. At times they are a changing. Now,
Mhm.
that would be a crossover that I would watch, is if you did Beetlejuice and Bob Dylan.
Sure, Timothy Chalamet. Yeah, of course, let's do it.
Hey, Bob, showtime. News dump. Over on Disney Plus. If you were listening to this on Goose Day, it is out tonight. If it's a Wednesday, it's available for you to watch right now. And that is Daredevil Born Again. The finale is available right now. Fryer, I guess I'll say this, spoiler-ish. Is there something from the comics that you are expecting to happen in this finale?
Ooh, that's okay. So obviously in name, this is based on in name it's based on Daredevil Born Again, but the thing that's been cited often is that it's also based on Chip Zdarsky's run. Doc mentions it every time in our DSG chat that he gets a chance to. Also based on Devil's Reign, which is where we saw Kingpin become the mayor of the city. We've seen some elements of that thrown in the mix. I would One of the big things for me is Elektra, they've kind of taught, like, we've seen Elodie Young pop up here and there, like, around the show, and how she's not involved in some capacity. I'm wondering if she's going to show up in this last episode and then play a bigger role. I don't want to spoil as to why, but there's
Yeah.
a big thing, interesting thing that happens with her during Chip Zdarsky and Marco Cicchetto's run on Daredevil with her, that I like. Everybody's gonna love once they see it. They've already seen it in some capacity, the artwork in the past, but that's what I'm looking forward to and hoping we get to see most in the finale.
News up. Over on X, we saw a couple photos, couple stills of possible leaks of Lobo from the upcoming Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. And you know Lobo better than me.
Mhm.
What do you think?
In terms of how those pictures look, or in
Yeah,
terms of Jason
picture.
Momoa?
You have
Okay.
eyeballs.
Yeah, in terms of the pictures, I mean, the first one's far away, and I feel like we've seen that image before. I question the validity of that one. The other one, I'm also not certain, but it looks good. Like, if that's how Jason Momoa ends up looking as Lobo, I think it's spot on. I think he's perfect for this character, and so I mean, I'm sure people talk about it in so many ways, but from a look standpoint, if that's it, they got it right.
News dump. Still no script for the Batman 2, but Warner Brothers is not worried, saying DC knows he's a writer, director, auteur in his own right. It'll come when he's written his best Batman script possible. That is via Deadline Them, talking about Matt Reeves. And as we continue to wait on this movie, reports are also now saying that Robert Pattinson will be joining the cast of Dune 3, potentially a Skytail. There we go. Skytail is a tlejuice face dancer who participates in the conspiracy to topple the rule of Paul Atreides.
Face dancers are my least favorite kind of dancers.
I personally love them.
What the hell is that? I can't wait to see this next movie. These things are insane. Regarding the Matt Reeves stuff, though, like, he should have all the time in the world. Go like, this is not
Well,
part of
no,
Gunn's.
no, 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 no. You need some kind of a deadline. I don't want the Batman 2 in 20 years. And I'm not saying
Okay.
to rush it, but I'm saying, like, we gotta get moving at some point.
I'm not saying give him, this should turn into a George R. R. Martin situation. I agree with that. But at the same time, like, there's not this rush, other than, Robert Pattinson not getting any younger, because James Gunn, this is not part of his DC, like, universe and everything. This is its
Yeah.
own thing. So give him, he has a couple extra years, I think, than the average movie does.
I mean, they could just start doing the Dark Knight Returns, I guess.
They could.
Get
Yeah.
it? 'Cause he's old now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's
Well
the
done.
story. That's from the books. It's from the books. You've read the books?
Yes.
There we go. So Robert Pattinson's possible schedule over the next couple of years. We have The Odyssey, which is now filming, Dune 3, which begins filming over the summer, and The Batman 2, which should start filming at the end of the year.
Nice. Yeah, he's a busy man. He's been doing some great stuff. I loved him
Busy boy.
as Bruce Wayne.
Busy boy. News dump. Warner Brothers TV boss says that the Penguin season 2 is not currently in the works. Never say never. It's definitely a possibility, but there's nothing in the works at the moment. This is via Deadline. I would like to see the Penguin back. We've mentioned this on several news dumps. I like the character. I like the characters on that show, but I would like them to focus on a different villain. But you can just widen out the Gotham world, call it something else, but Colin Farrell's still there.
Yeah, and I also want to see Sophia Falcone back in the mix as well.
Yeah.
And I don't. The thing is, initially my thought is like, okay, I want to see them going against each other, but we've already done that, and we've seen them work
Who's this
together.
against?
What?
Who's this against?
I don't know, but where I'm going with this is I kind of want to see them just, like, instead of having them going head to head, have them teamed up. I don't care who it's against necessarily, just because maybe the Riddler, whatever, you can figure something out. But they already used him. Anyways, with him and Sophia, I feel like there's built-in tension if you have them teamed up versus, if they're going head to head. We've seen that in some capacity. It's interesting, but having them like have to trust each other again after everything that's happened, I feel like you can repeat that in some ways and do a lot more with it now.
News up. But the first episode of season 2 of The Last of Us, it is now available on Max. I have yet to catch it. I need to get back into the proper mentality, the proper serious television watching mentality. I've kind of turned my brain off since Severance, so I need to turn my brain back on while watching television.
I am on the note of shows, not to derail us from The Last of Us, but are you going to watch Devil May Cry as well? Animated show on Netflix based off the video game.
No,
Okay,
I've never even
okay.
heard of it. Is it
You
good?
never heard of Devil May Cry, like even the video game? Like,
No.
wow. Yeah, it's like is it based on is it Konami or Capcom? I think it was a Capcom game.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that game. But anyways, I love the show. Shime's gonna watch it as well. It was outstanding. But from Last of Us, so this got an 8.2 on IMDb as a single episode. Only 2 episodes from season 1 were lower than that, whatever that's worth.
Okay. News dope. And we finally have our results, our champion from our March MACness food mascot bracket. And we had a finals of the 1 seed from I forget the bracket names, the Rex Ryan region. And then the finalist from I'm blanking on the fast food one. I'm not sure what it is, but it was Grimace. It was Kool-Aid Man versus Grimace. And the people tied. There was a tie. So we had a tie. We had a tie for the championship. The fast food or the food mascot winner was a tie. So then we had a little runoff, and Kool-Aid Man won.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Kool-Aid Man should win. I mean, he's just. I
Yeah,
mean, I know Grimace has had his moment.
I would say that Kool-Aid Man and Tony the Tiger were the chalky picks heading into the voting process, and Tony the Tiger did make the Final Four. He lost to Kool-Aid Man there. But yeah, I think Kool-Aid Man was consensus the #1 food mascot. I would like to thank everyone right now who participated, unless you voted for the Pillsbury Doughboy in the first round. You can go fuck yourself. But everyone else who participated in our food mascot bracket, thank you for having fun with us, and we'll try and think of something else for next year. News down. Damn it, that's the wrong sound. News down. All right, check us out at the end of the week. We'll have our Daredevil Born Again Season 1 recap, and then next week, Sinners.
Very excited to hear
Thank
that.
you for joining me.
You're welcome.
Want to plug yourself?
Well, I don't want to plug myself without you inviting me to. But yes, you can listen to TLDR Comic Book Club, where we talk about all the comics before they get turned into shows and or movies over on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all the platforms you find Mac and Goo. You can find us there. You also can follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and Blue Sky. But that is it, Goo.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was reading Marmaduke.
Good. Hey, I'm just glad you're reading stuff.
At the end of the week. See you later. News dump.